Hi everyone! This month I packed up a bit of my studio and moved to a new place. I'll miss the bright and cozy space here, and I love that most of the furnishings are white. It gives a cleaner look but also helps me to see colors better when I paint. I put a tablecloth over the dark wood table to try and brighten things up. I worked in front of windows previously, but later discovered that the sun from this space was too strong and throws off color balance a bit on the camera. I brought all the essentials like Copic markers, watercolor, gouache, and colored pencils. Of course, my digital tools are a must too. After settling in, we shall celebrate with a nice brunch.
The great yellow sun is reflecting in your deep blue eyes. The day has begun. You spin around, you laugh to yourself. And I see you shine in every color, resting your head in my arms. You sing la 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 la. My God, I think I might be in love. Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city. You'll never feel alone as long as you're with me. Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city. There's no place on earth I would rather be.
I'm excited to share with you my TCAF haul. It's the Toronto Comic Arts Festival downtown. I was unable to attend in person, but my friends helped me to pick up a few things. I was particularly excited to pick up comics by Cathon, a Canadian artist based in Montreal. She originally publishes in French, so it was a treat to be able to find English editions. Her comic spoof on Scooby-Doo was so hilarious and pokes fun at all the loopholes in the show. She also designed all the ads inside, referencing old Archie comics. I highly recommend for the quirky and charming humor. She drew me a shark in her Pineapples book. This one is a longer story and is a tiki-themed detective murder mystery. I love how she uses textures in her line work, and the character designs are simplistic yet expressive. Also, my super talented friend Sebi Confetti gave me this stunning illustration. It's so cute. I've been wanting to share more of my comics lately. I have a backlog of them. The Adventures of Nat and Dorky.
Hi, I'm Dorky. This comic's been generated through a series of our relationship adventures.
In fact, this comic just happened the other day. I think it's fun to share more personal stories in this way.
Hopefully you guys will get to enjoy some of the amazing stories that we are here to tell.
We would love for you to take a look on Instagram. This next painting is a glasses shop I came across in Kobe.
Where'd you find this nice shop?
In Shotengai, which is a semi-indoor covered shopping arcade.
What was the most interesting feature in this painting?
I kept seeing the same glasses advertisement signage all across Japan when I traveled in Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and the googly eyes moving around really caught my attention.
What is your color palette that you've really enjoyed using in this drawing?
I think in general, when I paint a bit retro buildings like this, I tend to use more subdued or washed out colors, just because in real life the tint of the buildings is also a bit rusted and worn out like that. But for this particular painting, I really liked the pops of red in the signage, which really brought out the graphic elements.
What are you doing in this painting?
I am the mouse with the red glasses pointing to the signage with the red glasses.
How do you feel your work differs from urban sketching?
My interpretation of urban sketching is that it's usually a direct representation of the environment. Although my illustrations are accurate to the references, I like to add in characters to layer on an additional story. It's always fun wondering how to pose the characters and imagining how they interact with each other. I feel that it gives life to the scene and is the element that really transforms the piece into something I connect with. Kind of like expressing my emotional experiences of the space through the characters or reflecting what I would like to do in that scene. I'm using the wet on wet technique, which is a wash of water first before pigments. This is so that the colors have increased flow and blendability. I often use this approach when painting windows to get the hazy effect. Seeing things behind a layer of glass or peering into a window means the objects inside should be blurred due to being out of focus or reflections. It's a careful game of slight tints to change the color temperature of the glass. Add some browns to create warm shadows and Payne's gray to make cooler darks. Experimenting with the level of wetness of the paper enables you to make more distinct brushstrokes as the paper dries up. I'm adding in the final touches with gouache. On the weekend, we visited North York Public Library, which has a specialty shop called Bookends. It collects all the unused or discarded library books and sells them for really affordable prices. I've been preparing for research for a client picture book, and I'm shifting into the storyboarding stage soon. This shop was a treasure trove of inspiration. I really wanted to study how other illustrators visually progress the story and the compositional treatments of their spreads. Studying various ways of stylizing human anatomy is always great, and I'm eager to reference drawing character expressions too. Dorky, you found a really good Leonardo da Vinci book in hardcover.
I was very happy to find that it was only there for $1. I probably wouldn't be able to find this book elsewhere for maybe like $100 or more.
True, and I was flipping through the pages and I noticed he had a diagram explaining the casting process for one of his large sculptures.
Yeah, I really like how detailed and just how large format these drawings that he's made, and it just really opens up that there's a lot more detail in his works to be seen. What did you get?
Picture books, of course. This one by Ruth Ohi was really cute. I'm interested in how she achieves the look of traditional media with the level of color saturation and consistency of digital. That's a balance I'm always trying to experiment with. Next time, I want to try and find more nonfiction titles. I also work on educational products with my clients on topics like science, math, history. It's a different mode of creative thinking and problem solving to work on story-driven projects versus learning products, which tends to require more graphic and packaging design. I'm so happy we got to visit another bookstore this weekend. It's easy to find art references and inspiration online, but something about holding the book physically in your hand, studying the pacing of the pages, or even how the book is manufactured gives a different layer of inspiration. I'm so happy I found The Queen in the Cave by Julia Sarda. There's such visual interest in the way that she flattens perspective and plays with very bold cut compositions that references lots of classical art. This one is based off of Egyptian hieroglyphics, so interesting. The Montreal artist Cathon also created this children's graphic novel series called Poppy and Sam. It's so cute and endearing, and the way she depicts grass and plants is absolutely stunning.
Yo-ho, Mr. Bumblebee! That's so long. Oops. Yo-ho, Mr. Bumblebee. Just 5 more minutes. Mr. Bumblebee, we're looking for the person who knit basil's leaves. Can you?
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our first attempt at collaborative voiceovers. So see you next time.